Hey guys, Paul's Path there. This is Paul. We all know about Paul's Path. Rarely have we seen a person fail who's thoroughly followed this path, and I've followed it. And guys have followed me, and I've followed guys. So Paul's Path is the Alcoholics Anonymous path, okay? They used to say never. Never have we seen a person fail, but they didn't want to challenge the alcoholic, and it's not like that today. It's a little bit different because it's been watered down a little bit, and people are not really practicing the principles in the book, but I'm not going to get into that right now. What we're going to get into is step 6 and 7, because we did 4 or 5 yesterday and day before. So we'll get it. Well, first of all, in the 12 of 12, okay, it says, this is the step that separates the men from the boys or the girls from the women. So declares a well clergyman who happened to be one of A's greatest friends. That was the minister. He goes on to explain that any person capable of enough willingness and honesty to try repeatedly, step 6, to be willing, to try to be willing repeatedly in every situation, can now call himself a man. He came a long way spiritually, and therefore is entitled to become a man, and is sincerely trying to grow in the image and likeness of his Creator. Now, that's pretty important stuff. Okay. 6 and 7 in the big book. Well, I don't know if there's anything more important than 6 and 7. And I know we went over this before, but in case there's anybody watching, 6 and 7 is almost the entire program when we see what's blocking us from God. And the only way to get a conscious contact with God is to remove the things that are blocking us, the 6 and 7. When you say, well, what about 10 and 11? 10 and 11 is a continuation of step 7 and 4 and 5. Continue to take personal inventory. When it comes up, we ask God to remove it. Okay, so 6 and 7, very important. Very important, right? And look at the size of this book. Look how thick it is. But there's only 2 paragraphs on 6 and 7. Let's find out why. 6. If we can answer to our satisfaction, answer what? Have we skimped on the cement? Step 5. Have we skimped on the cement? We leave anything out? We hold them back on secrets? Are the stones properly in place? Have we skimped on the cement put into the foundation? Have we tried to make mortar without sand? Were we thorough and honest is what they're saying. Were we thorough and honest, okay? So, if we can answer to our satisfaction, we then look at step 6. Okay, we did a thorough and honest and deep down in our soul and from our heart, because we want to live a sincere step 1 through 5. Okay. Now, are we now ready to let God remove us from us all the things which have admitted are objectionable? Once you look at what these things caused in your life and your failure at life and your destructive drinking, the willingness is there. I mean, who wouldn't want to get rid of things that are destroying their lives, right? And making you drink and kill yourself. That one's kind of a funny one. Yeah, the willingness is there, trust me. Can he, God, now take them all, every one? If he still cling to something we will not let go, we ask God to help us be willing. See, step 6 is just about willingness. You just got to be willing to remove them. Step 7, different story. When ready for step 7 after 6, it says, we say something like this: my Creator, I am now willing that you should have all of me, good and the bad. Take it all, right? I'm going to follow you now. I'm going to align my will with your will. Okay, there's good stuff too, but there's the bad stuff. The bad stuff we get drunk over. I am now willing that you should have all of me, good and bad. I pray that you now remove from me every single defect of character which stands in the way of my usefulness, not happiness. I've been happy. I've been useful. I go to the hospital to visit Nathan. I'm not happy, but you better believe I'm useful. I pray that you're, and so only the defects that are getting in the way. Like, I can be intolerant when it comes to people putting down newcomers. You know, I can be intolerant Intolerance is kind of a character defect, right? But God hasn't removed it from me yet because he needs somebody to protect the newcomers. So I'm still intolerant when it comes to old timers belittling newcomers, you know. So anyway, why is the paragraph so small? Well, it's like if you're building a garden, right? And you're planting potatoes, and you need a rake and a shovel, the most two important tools in Home Depot. Why do you need those two important tools? Just 6 and 7 is really important. But when you go buy a shovel and a rake, there's no directions on it. You're supposed to just know how to use it. It's the same with 6 and 7. You just be ready and ask God to remove it. There's no directions. It's just a little prayer. There's nothing to do. There's no inventory. There's no writing. It's just when these things pop up that we saw in 4 and 5, we're going to ask God to remove them. There's no directions on them. There's no directions on a rake or a shovel. Very important tools. But very simple. But not simple unless we did a thorough 1 through 5. So I love you all. Check in with me tomorrow, 8 and 9. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays to everybody. And I love you all. And thanks for the donations, and check the bio for the retreat. We're going on a sober retreat, man. We're going to do it in April. It's going to be unbelievable. So check out the sober retreat, and I'll talk to you guys later. Love you all.